What's going on, YouTubers? It's still too normal here with another video game drawing. As you can see from what I'm holding, we're going to be drawing, well, I kind of did the drawing, we're going to be coloring and filling in details, but I'm going to be discussing Grand Theft Auto 3, one of Rockstar's first legends, and one of the games you must own for PS2 at the time, if you own PS2. So, let's talk a little bit about the guy on the cover here. Anyone who's played Grand Theft Auto 3 will know that's Claude. What makes Claude interesting is all the Grand Theft Auto protagonists after him has a voice. He is the only one that doesn't talk at all. Well, him and your online character for GTA 5, but other than that, that's pretty much it. He is the only main character that doesn't talk. So Claude's origins are very mysterious Claude's origins are very mysterious. There's really not a lot known about the guy, other than he's a career criminal, and he doesn't talk. Claude is in Liberty City, which is based off New York for one reason and one reason only, to kill Cataline. Well, that and to make money, of course, but Cataline betrayed him, and thanks to San Andreas, we actually learned that him and her worked together for years. So this game takes place in 2002 of Liberty City. Claude goes through a lot to get revenge. Like, he may not speak, but you can tell he wants it due to his actions in the game. So Claude is definitely one of those GTA protagonists. Aside from Claude, the game itself was pretty jar-defining at the time. Like, no joke, after this game, every game wanted to be Grand Theft Auto because it was the first open world game in a way. Well, maybe not, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit on that department, but none can deny that this was a big hit for Rockstar, and it prompted them to continue doing this new main series. And Grand Theft Auto is a household name at this point. Like, even people who don't play Grand Theft Auto or video games have at the very least heard of the name. It's up there with Mario for being a household name, a legend. So, Grand Theft Auto is earned the ranks and has the respect of gamers. You can honestly not call yourself a gamer if you've never played a Grand Theft Auto game. Like, everybody has their taste in Grand Theft Auto. For me, my favorite Grand Theft Auto game has to be, it's honestly a tie between San Andreas and GTA 5. Like, that's just my opinion personally. I have a few friends whose favorite are GTA 4 because they love Liberty City. I know Liberty City is based off New York, and that's why they love it so much, because they're big into New York. They don't live in New York, my friends that I'm discussing, but good God, they really pay attention to details. And yeah, speaking of Claude, I remember Rockstar doing an event in the past, like, I'm not sure how much long it is, but there was an event where you had these prison uniforms that said Liberty City Prison, and my friend and I literally did the event to get those prison uniforms, because, come on, at the start of the game, Claude literally was on his way to prison for life, I assume, and he gets busted out by a group of people who were originally there to bust out another criminal, and that's how Claude got mixed into the plot. But yeah, anyways, those are Claude's basic colors there, right there, so let me just add in a few more details. But yeah, Claude's story is definitely interesting, but Liberty City, good God, I mean, this was the game you could actually steal cars for once. You could get busted by police. You could do all kinds of crazy stuff. This game, okay, this is very early 2000 game. You can tell by, like, if you played it now, you could definitely tell it was an early 2000s game because of the way the graphics look, the gameplay looks. But recently, Rockstar did come out with the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, and it looks okay now. I'm definitely going to say this now. There's some everyday features that make this game a bit easier, like the ability to freely move the camera. Yeah, like Resident Evil had this whole fixed camera angle thing for the older games, and so did this game. The other Grand Theft Auto games didn't have fixed camera after this, but freely moving the camera is a godsend. Like, my friends really love Grand Theft Auto 3. Like, they've platinumed the game so many times, I honestly need to catch up with them. So, yeah. Liberty City is definitely a unique city. Like, out of all the cities they could have chose, New York definitely is a king one because of all the crime rate, all the criminal activity, or past stories about gang violence and the criminal underworld and the empire. So, Grand Theft Auto, I remember years ago, parents were like, "Oh God, you can't play this game," but I didn't care. I played this game and I loved it. So they said, as long as you don't act out any of this stuff, then you can play. They weren't thrilled with my answer, but yay, Grand Theft Auto. Anyway, yeah, that's my story. I got Grand Theft Auto 3 when I bought my PlayStation 2. Well, I couldn't say bought, but when my mother got me the PS2 for the first time, it had 5 games with it. One of them was this game, and I couldn't been happier because this game is beautiful to look at. I mean, compared to now, but it's honestly a treat. And while the trilogy had a rocky start, I mean, it's coming along nicely. Maybe, like, there are some updates, and there's still a few textural issues, but hey, what are you gonna do? This game's honestly a classic, so you can't really redefine classics. Like, if you ask anybody what was their first Grand Theft Auto game, I'm pretty sure a large majority of them is going to say this one. Well, at least people growing up in the 2000s will say that one. Because this game really was the game that put Rockstar on the map. And this game deserves applause and praise. So, my art style may not be like the Grand Theft Auto style, but hey, that's my take on Grand Theft Auto 3. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and a special thanks to Rockstar for delivering us this awesome game. Rockstar, you have my full support. Anyways, I'll see you next time.